Hey guys, Marisa at KitchenTableStamper.com. Today I've got the cutest little treat box for you. This is the coffee because adulting is hard treat box. It holds one of these Russell Stover's House Blend Coffee Big Bites. You could probably put a gift card right in on top of there if you wanted to. And it features my fun new bundle. Nothing's better than. This is a brand new bundle from the Stampin' Up! 2020-2021 annual catalog, and I am so excited because of all the different themes that it covers. Coffee, cocktails, cookies, chocolate, everything all in one bundle. Let's get started with the box. We're going to use a piece of Coastal Cabana cardstock here. This is 5 by 11. Pop it in a Simply Score tool here on the 11-inch side, and let's score at 1, 5, 6, and 10, and then rotate 90 degrees and score at 1 and 4. Next, work all of the score lines with a bone folder. All right, there you go. Now, let's snip. Gonna cut the tabs here to make our box. We'll go from the 5-inch side to the first score line on both ends here and trim out a little dart. And we'll flip and do the other 5-inch side. Now, this amazing little treat box is the feature tutorial for the Stampin' Anonymous tutorials. If you're not familiar with the Stampin' Anonymous tutorials, it's a 6-pack of creative tutorials. It's my gift to you when you purchase Stampin' Up! Products from me of any amount. And I also give it to my team members, the Kitchenettes, for free every month, 6 new tutorials. Now let's go ahead and debulk the little scores here. So on the 11-inch side, you're gonna do these score lines, cut them into the intersecting score line. All right, so we've got our darts. Let's clean these guys out and get some tear and tape adhesive. This is this month's Stampin' Anonymous tutorial sneak peek. This month we're doing birthday themed tutorials. There's 6 of them, better than flat, and we feature one every month. Each of the designers in the Stampin' Anonymous team will be making this box this month just to give you a glimpse at a little bit, an idea of what's inside these tutorials. The tutorials are I've been stamping for a very long time, and I learned something new from the ladies in the Stampin' Anonymous team, and in these tutorials every month I'm inspired and I learn something. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Order for me, that's all right. The tutorials are available for purchase, $9.95 for 6 better than flat tutorials, and you can get those guys at KitchenTableStamper.com. All right, so we're folding each of the tabs in and adding some adhesive in an kind of an equal sign here. I'm gonna put adhesive on all of our tabs to get us started. All right, so there's our adhesive. Let me peel all of these little release papers off and we'll assemble our box. All right, almost there. While I remove each of these little adhesive tabs, I'm also taking the 4 corners and doing a very slight little bevel there with my scissors. Now let's bring in these tabs to the front, and we're going to square up our little box. That's the bottom of the box, so let's bring the tabs in on the center here, build up the back of the box. That's the bottom of our box. Now for the top, let's go ahead and fold the lid, make a little corner there, And now the top of the box, I like to add just a tiny little angle cut here. Kind of finishes off that flap and helps keep it that bottom corner from sticking out so far once it's closed. All right, let's clear these guys away and grab a 1/2-inch circle punch. Now this is our little box and it has a flip top lid. But what I like to do with flip top lid is take a 1/2-inch circle punch and let's put a little thumb notch right in the lid here. So we're going to go kind of centered right between those tabs, about halfway into the punch. Give a punch. And now we've got this little thumb notch that helps us open our lid. And in with our treat. There's our big bite. And ta-da, look at that. Perfect for gift card giving. Time to get Stampin'. Slide this guy to the side, and I want a Stampin' Pierce mat and some little grid paper. My Stampin' pads for this project are Coastal Cabana, Flirty Flamingo, and Early Espresso. We're going to start by making some of our own designer series paper. I've got a panel for the top of the box. This is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, and we're going to use the little coffee cup from Nothing's Better Than. We're going to stamp the outline all over our white paper. Now we're going to make a random pattern, and we're most concerned with the outer edges because we're going to layer up on the inside with labels. So when you're doing your random stamping, keep that in mind, that you're really concerned about these edges because that's where our splash of color and our coffee cups will be seen. All right, there are our random cups. Now we're gonna fill them in, and I like to do cool colors first. So we're gonna start with Coastal Cabana, and we're gonna choose one, and then we're going to try to alternate. So we wanna leave empty spaces for the Flirty Flamingo ones. So we'll put a little Coastal Cabana over here. Little Coastal Cabana on this one, kind of every other one. Let's see here. We'll do a little Coastal Cabana here. And one of these guys on the inside here. Got my simple chamois here. Just wipe away the ink. Just with water. Love this product. Simply Chamois has saved me a lot of money in baby wipes. I used to use baby wipes. Now we've got our Flirty Flamingo. Let's fill in the rest of our coffee cups. I love the retro art style with this retro color combo. Ta-da! There's your own pattern paper. I love it. Now we're also going to have a little coffee mug to cut out. I think we're going to stick with our original design and make it Coastal Cabana. Got a scrap right here. Let's stamp one coffee cup to die cut. I think there's something on my stamp. I've got a little line in there. We'll try that again. Much cleaner. All right. So cute. We've got one more little bit of stamping here, so let's do that. I've got a piece that's 3/4 inch by 3, and part of the mix and matchable greetings from Nothing's Better Than. This says, because adulting's hard. We're gonna finish that greeting with coffee, because adulting is hard. Let's clear away the ink pads, and we'll get the big shot and do some die cutting. Now I've got the little cup and the word coffee. Those are from the Love You More Than dies. I love these Love You More Than dies. They have chocolate, cocktails, cookies, coffee, and Love You More Than. and then outline the cutout dies for the main images in the stamp set. We're gonna just cut out our little coffee cup. That's a simple die cut shape, but for our coffee, we're gonna get kind of wild here. I've got a piece of Fleur de Flamingo cardstock, and I'm gonna use one of these really cool foam adhesive sheets. These die cut like butter, and now all those scripty greetings, alphabets, little things, little die cut things that you don't want to try to get the dimensionals behind anymore, cutting them up into little tiny strips. You remember the days of bits and scraps of dimensionals to try to pop up something like this coffee word? Not anymore. Now we're just going to take a scrap about the size of our die, the Fleur de Flamingo cardstock. We're going to stick it right onto the adhesive sheet, and we'll close the cover, and you can see where the cardstock is. Just cut that away. Save this for your next die cut. Throw this away. Now you're going to pop your die on the cardstock side. That way your letters won't be backwards. And let's go ahead and die cut our coffee in our coffee cup. With the foam, especially on this little scripty die, I'm going to go back and forth with it. You ready? We'll just pull the excess right away, the words left in the die. Then we can use our take your pick tool and just weed out these little pieces. So inside of the O, inside of the F's, I'm gonna weed this one out and get rid of the big shot. All right, you'll notice my word's all weeded. It's still sitting in the die. We're just gonna leave it there for safekeeping for a minute. I need some Fleur de Flamingo ribbon, but Stampin' Up! Just doesn't have any right now. So enter the amazing 1/4 inch white seam binding ribbon and Fleur de Flamingo Stampin' Blends. Let's grab that little piece of small grid paper that we're using, and we're gonna protect our work surface and just need about maybe 10-12 inches of ribbon. So we're going to just go ahead with our Stampin' Blends and color a length of ribbon for our project. I like to do the light color with the Stampin' Blends, and then halfway along the width I like to do the dark color or the dark shade. It's all the same color, it's Fleur de Flamingo, but I like to then run the darker shade across half the width of the ribbon, and this is going to give us a fun ombre effect. So there's our light dark combo, and then with the Fleur de Flamingo I like to run a little bit of light to kind of push that dark and blend it. So you get a pretty ombre pink ribbon. It dries lighter than it looks when you first apply the color with this technique. But with this seam binding ribbon and your Stampin' Blend markers, you'll never be without ribbon that matches. All right, let's give that a second to dry. Doesn't take long at all. And we'll start assembling some of our layers. This is 2 7/8 by 3 7/8, and we're gonna adhere the pattern paper that we just made to this early espresso piece. It's gonna make a nice bold frame for the beautiful paper we just created. I've got a few die cuts that I did ahead of time. From the stitched shapes, I have the second largest stitched oval, that's from Whisper White. From the Tasteful Labels dies, I have this largest label, all cut out from Coastal Cabana. And then from the layering ovals, we cut from Early Espresso the 2 by 3 inch scalloped oval. We can take the white stitched oval and we can adhere that center to the scalloped oval. And we can take our label and we can adhere that centered to our designer series paper. See how pretty that is, all professional? We made that designer series paper. We should be proud of us. All right, then, because adulting is hard, I'm gonna grab my handy dandy tailor tag punch and put some chicken lips on the bottom, or on the right end of this banner. And then I've got a skinny little scrap of Flirty Flamingo 6x6 designer series paper. Along the bottom edge of this banner, I'm just rubbing the tiniest little bead of glue. And let's embellish this sentiment with a little bit of color. Oh, I did this on the live video too. I forgot that I wanted my ribbon in between. I don't want it around the designer series paper. So let's trim away the excess. And then let's grab our ribbon and we're gonna thread it around the white piece. So just slide it in there, it'll still slide fine. Tie a little bow. If you want to adjust the size of your bow, you can just hold the knot and pull the tail. And once you got a more appropriate size, just tighten it back up again. And we can cut this away from the spool. Oh, that tail might be a little long. There we go. This piece right here, the oval, is going to be overlapped by this sentiment piece. So let's go ahead and adhere a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue right in the center of the banner. And then you're going to adhere it to the oval with just a little bit of stitching peeking out from underneath. Now we want to, before we burnish that down, kind of audition it, and we could slide it still a little bit at this point because we want it to breach the entire background. Burnish that down. Now here comes the fun part. Are you ready? We're going to grab that leftover piece from our coffee cutout and flip this guy over. We're going to cut this up into some little squares or square-ish type shapes. And we're going to use this as our dimensional adhesive on the back of our label, on the back of our oval, on the back of our greeting. All right, so a little multi-purpose liquid glue and stick that right on. We're going to do that with all these little bits. Right on the Flirty Flamingo side, use your multi-purpose liquid glue and adhere it to the back. This is all perfectly good dimensional adhesive. You paid for this piece, so why not use it? We'll just pop that down there. One more piece because nobody likes a saggy middle. No saggy middles, so we'll put one right in the middle there. We also need a little bit for the back of our coffee cup. So one more little piece here to the rescue. Then I'll take this piece right here, along with all the other little dimensional things I've cut out, and put these in a bag and just keep on using them that way, just like you would dimensionals. All right, well that gets a grip. Let's adhere our coffee panel to our box. And glue that on flat. Make sure that you got the front of the box toward you. And center. Burnish that down. Love it. Now what you'll do with these little adhesive pieces, just peel. Peel away the liner. And like any other piece of dimensional, you've got two-sided double stick foam adhesive. I love these sheets. All right, center that on the label. Remember our little coffee die cut, our little word? Let's grab that guy right out of the die Here it is, dimensional, scripty, and no more cutting tiny little bits to try to lift that scripty die cut. It's all completely supported. It's all dimensional. You just stick it right on your project. Look at that great dimension. Do you see that? Perfectly supported and no fuss. I love it. Our coffee cup goes right up top here against our coffee word. And that's it. Look what we have here. Coffee, because adulting is hard. I would agree. If you've got any questions about the project, about the Stampin' Anonymous tutorials, if there's anything I can do to help you stay crafty, you can email Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com. And to shop Stampin' Up! 24/7, buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. I'll give you a free bundle of better than flat tutorials with any size order. Thanks for watching.